View the article online at http://citywire.co.uk/money/article/A1127080. And Inmarsat rebuffed a £2.1 billion takeover bid from US billionaire Charlie Ergen's EchoStar Corporation. The Guardian: the BT chief executive Gavin Patterson will quit the telecoms giant this year amid growing shareholder dissatisfaction with his performance. Daily Mail: British technology company Inmarsat yesterday revealed that it has rebuffed a £2.1 billion takeover bid from US billionaire Charlie Ergen's EchoStar Corporation. The Guardian: Donald Trump has sparked a new rift with U.S. allies at the G7 summit by calling for Russia to be readmitted to the G7 club of world leaders. The Daily Telegraph: share markets all over the world finished the week lower as the trade pact between the U.S. and its allies escalated ahead of the G7 summit. The FTSE 100 dipped 0.3%, while U.S. stocks are stuck in flat territory. Financial Times: Mark Carney, chief executive of Network Rail, has been appointed CBE for services to the rail industry. Unions termed it like rewarding the captain of the Titanic for jumping ship. Daily Mail: Gatehouse Bank yesterday regained its top spot as a challenger bank offering the most attractive fixed-rate bonds by handing savers two new market-beating deals of up to 2.68%. The Sharia-compliant bank hit back after Adam Bank pushed up its one-year fix to 2.05%. The Guardian: the chief executive of Sainsbury's Mike Coupe has earned nearly £3.4 million in the past year, up 45% on the previous year, as 9,000 shop staff face pay cut. Daily Mail: Henri Lloyd, the sailing fashion retailer with 7 stores around the UK, is the latest high street retailer to go bust. The Daily Telegraph: the world's most powerful oil executives are expected to meet Pope Francis I in the Vatican to discuss the industry's sins against the environment. The Times: nearly 11.6 million square feet of retail has been lost to administrations. An analysis by Colliers International shows a day after House of Fraser announced that it would be closing more than half of its stores. Financial Times: Rusal faces further challenge to retain control of its lucrative stake in metals giant Norilsk Nickel after it struggled to service a debt to Superbank due to crippling U.S. sanctions. The Independent: two-thirds of the top auto-enrollment pension providers have no policy against investments in firms that profit from chemical and biological weapons, new research has found. The Guardian: Argentina has agreed to a $50 billion loan agreement with the International Monetary Fund to shore up its economy. The move came after the peso weakened sharply in an investor exodus from emerging markets. The Times: Douglas Flint, one of the city's best-known financiers, and the former chairman of HSBC, has been appointed a knight in the Queen's birthday honors. Financial Times: Hans Vestberg, the former boss of Ericsson, has been appointed as the new chief executive of Verizon. The Daily Telegraph: Poundland will now sell clothing brand Pep. The Daily Telegraph: the head of compliance at the emerging markets lender Standard Chartered, Neil Berry, has quit over allegations of inappropriate behavior. Financial Times: IBM has created the world's most powerful computer that has more than double the capacity of the current world leader China's Sunway Taihu. The Times: Russian authorities have ordered HSBC to pay £17 million for its part in alleged tax avoidance, as the British bank got entangled in Kremlin's effort to silence hedge fund manager and human rights activist Bill Browder. Financial Times: UK brokerage Before Securities customers will be spared from any insolvency costs after the administrators PwC reached a deal with creditors and financial services compensation scheme. The Times: Stobart Group's boardroom war moved to the High Court after the company filed a £4 million lawsuit against Andrew Tinkler, its former chief executive, over historical related party transactions. The Daily Telegraph: Games Workshop's shares touched a record high of £31 yesterday, briefly registering a £1 billion market value for the first time, as the model figure retailer expects profits to nearly double this year. Daily Mail, the Institute of Directors has accused the UK Financial Conduct Authority of watering down rules for the Saudi government-controlled Aramco to back the oil firm's £1.5 trillion float. Financial Times, Alan Howard is set for a huge personal payday worth several $100 million, helped by a large bearish bet against Italian government bonds. The Daily Telegraph, the National Lottery increased its ticket sales to almost £7 billion in the year to March, reversing an annual slump after admitting it had lost relevance in the lives of Britons. The Daily Telegraph, shares in British and European Apple suppliers have taken a dip amid news that the technology giant is expected to drastically reduce iPhone orders in the second half of this year. The Times, Takeda has secured up to $7.5 billion through a credit deal with a consortium of banks as it puts in place funds to take over Shire. Daily Mail, comment, BT boss Gavin Patterson is kicked into touch having failed to tackle poor customer service. The Guardian, comment, Britain's nuclear U-turn puts us in a very lonely club. The Daily Telegraph, comment, grim times on High Street with House of Fraser and Pound World on the brink. The Times, comment, consumers are not able to ride to the rescue of the High Street anymore. Financial Times, Lex, Saudi Aramco IPO, UK, London must make compromises if it wants to host the shares of the world's largest oil group. Financial Times, Lex BT, Gavin Patterson, group's next boss should be a tactician the equal of Ofcom's formidable Sharon White. Read more, by Daniel Grote on June 8, 2018 at 15:15.